And then as people come in and ask questions, you can feel free to stick around or head out once your question is answered. But there's no prepared thing here. I just answer any questions people have, and that's it. So let me know in the chat what you want to do, if you want me to unmute your mic or if you want to just submit your question.
Hi there, Eric. I don't know if you can hear me now.
I can, yeah.
Yeah, forgive me. I thought it was going to be just a watch only and not interactive. So I really appreciate the opportunity. I'll be brief. I'm just very new to your product, and I really went for it because of your personal style and approach. So yeah, your company comes across really well. I'm into a very steep learning curve with it.
Okay.
As a not very technical person, but I'm loving what I find. Your help desk was very responsive yesterday, really good. And I think mate, the emphasis is on me really to apply myself and get some way through it. But I'm really happy with the product and how it comes across, and looking forward to learning more. Yeah, that's all I've got to say really, but just want to thank you for making a really affordable and helpful product.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. And, I definitely congratulate you in being in the position you're in, because whether it's technology or something else, starting a journey like this, there's always going to be things and obstacles that we have to overcome. And so in this case, there's certainly a lot of things that manifest themselves as technical hurdles, but our team is here to make sure that those don't become barriers for you, And so, yeah, it's on you to, when you hit something and you have a question, to ask the question, we'll do our best to support you. So with that in mind, where are you at in your journey right now, setting up MemberMouse with your business?
I'm at the very start of working on my offer page, and then making all that work together. And actually a real newbie to Word. I had a WordPress site for a decade, I think, but never really used it, and went into a really quick immersion with the combination of MemberMouse, WordPress.com for hosting, and Divi to do the theme that you offer, and took advantage of their latest offer as well. So really at the start of it, and feeling that incredible journey of being massively overwhelmed, and then having a little breakthrough and thinking, yeah, I'm a developer, and feeling really pleased with myself for the simplest things.
Right. Well, my advice at this time is to really have a small number of things to accomplish, because I think in the beginning, because MemberMouse and Divi and other tools are designed to support businesses at any stage, there's certainly a huge chunk of things that you may feel like you have to get introduced to. But really at this stage, to me, success point would be you get an offer page up, which has your design, using Divi to have your design, the look and feel that you want.
Yeah.
And then you have a button on there where people can click to buy your product.
Yeah.
And then MemberMouse has the checkout page. As you probably know at this point, we do have an integration with Divi, so that we'll provide a style pack to help you get a head start, which will give you a look and feel for all of the MemberMouse core pages, including the checkout page, etc.
Yeah.
So that's got those. Okay. So they click the button to buy your offer. They go to the checkout page. They can sign up. You're connected to Stripe or PayPal or whatever you're using.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, to me, that is the only thing that needs to be done in the beginning, because at that point, you can literally then start pushing traffic to that offer page, which, because I think here's a mistake that a lot of new people make. Oh, I need to do all of this stuff before I get my stuff out there. Yeah. Which is a huge mistake, because then it just becomes this internal self-propelled process. And to me, a lot of the enthusiasm that you can rely on for helping you get through any obstacles is getting feedback from your actual customers.
So true. Yeah.
So get the offer page up. As soon as it's in a place where people can buy it, and you're going to have even though you're going to have a lot of ways that it can be better, start putting it out there. You can put it out to friends, family, whoever you want to first, but because the more that people are involved in your process, the more it's going to help you stay inspired. And literally at that point, it's done. It's functional. That's the whole point of MemberMouse. Like, is that within a weekend, you can get that set up so that now you have a functioning business that can always improve over time.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. And I do see that in helping other people create courses. There's it's a general life lesson, isn't it? Is in not sharing, is procrastinating and letting the excellent spoil the good, basically, and never getting out there. Yeah. And missing the excitement of that feedback loop, because nothing gets people going better than making a sale and then having to deliver, right?
Right. And also it also opens the door to mystery, because when you put something out there, you're in a sense like opening up to the universe to say, hey, like, I'm putting this out there, tell me where it goes from here. Yeah. Because I'll tell you, like, I provide this advice from the experience of doing the opposite when I first started MemberMouse. Like, I didn't release a product for like 1 or 2 years because I was trying to fine tune it, in a vacuum. But the thing is, in retrospect, a lot of the milestones that have propelled MemberMouse forward in success have been these kind of like synchronistic things where I didn't have control over it. But what I did have control over is the fact that I actually took the risk of putting it out somewhere, which meant that somebody could see it who could lead me to something else, and how these things can happen. Yeah. So it's this, you're kind of like being vulnerable and saying to the overall community, like, this is what I have to offer. Help me understand how I can be more of service. And if you respond to what they're saying, you've entered into a dialogue, and success is a natural outcome of that process, which I think a lot of people get it wrong. They think if I get it perfect, success will follow. Yes. But success really follows the conversation, Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I was prototyping a course called Get Your Online Course Online in 7 Days, which is exactly that, to go from Sunday to Sunday and have people not stop for want of perfection, but doing the best I think anyone can get a course online in 7 days if they go with what they've got. Right. And as you say, even if that's a friends and family who'll buy on the 7th day, but and how I market that, and I really appreciate your what seems to be your position on this is it's all an exercise in personal growth, isn't it? It is. To sacrifice your sense of perfection and shame and all these things that govern and drive us. These are the things that I think thwart people in having themselves self-expressed as teachers and sharers of information.
Yep. It's about in this digital age, like, remembering that it's still about the thing that's always been a human quality, which is a community. And even though it's not like the sense in the physical sense where, there's just one small village and you're the bread maker and you rely on the guy who can mend the shoes and etc. It's still the same function. Like, we all have our storefronts and we say, hey, I'm here to provide this, and this is what I can offer based on my life experience. And there's an exchange. Because I think we all just stay in our houses metaphorically, and don't have the courage to say, this is what I can provide, then we're missing a critical aspect of what it is to become an elder in a culture. You start to teach.
Well said, sir. Yes, absolutely. So when's your TED talk on this then, on the metaphysical aspects of course creation online?
When somebody invites me, there'll be one.
I'm not kidding though. I mean, I'm really impressed with your I don't know what it would be, your position or your ethics about how you approach this. You know, a lot of it becomes very rational, doesn't it, and two-dimensional. And I've noticed, you know, the way you speak and the way you share about it, you clearly have a metaphysical understanding of where all this is coming from, and the benefits of holding that position as well. The Zen, you know, the Zen of online course creation.
Right. Yeah. Well, the secret is that it doesn't really matter what you're talking about. The fundamentals are all the same.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, there's your elder speaking.
Yeah. But the trick is, here's the trick. Like, I think you have to be courageous enough to go out there and to quote unquote fail at it, because
yeah,
in terms of learning to be of service as a teacher, because anybody doing a course that's what they're doing. Everybody faces, when they're starting it, that position of discomfort. Do I really have something to share?
Yeah.
And the answer is always yes and no. The yes is the part where you've actually accomplished something and you have the kind of like fundamental toolkit of getting from point A to point B, in a sense. The other part, the no, is that there's being a teacher you're not granted a diploma or the title of being a teacher unless somebody actually learns.
Yes.
You become a teacher if somebody is a student. And the only way somebody can become a student is if you position yourself, you take the risk of being a teacher. And
yes, well,
I think what we learn when we go through that process is that being a teacher is a lot more about listening than about standing on a podium. And because ultimately what I've learned is that anything that I end up saying in any situation that might be meaningful is 100% driven by whoever's asking the question. So ultimately, it's not that it was about any sort of preparation on my part, right? And that's why I learned that opening yourself up to the interaction soon as possible with the people who can be a part of your community is the best thing, because ultimately they're the ones who are going to be providing you with the thing that's going to attract more people.
Yes.
And then of course you can run into another dangerous aspect of human nature, which is egoism, you know, where you forget the fact that these people are the ones holding you up, and it's not the other way around. Because at that point in the journey, if you can take one road or the other. You think this is all about me, that takes you in one direction, or this is me just being of service to these people, and that'll take another direction. Both can lead to apparent physical success, but they feel totally different and they look totally different.
Yeah, absolutely. And the word that comes to mind is being ordained, because there are a lot of self-proclaimed, I think, gurus and leaders, but it's the ordainment by others, isn't it, that really gives the true value to any label of teacher or guru.
It is, and ideally it would be that way, right? But
yes.
But the thing is that because of our generation, and you know, I think the younger generations have caught wise to this, but our generation and previous to our generation were definitely like spoon-fed the idea that if somebody positions themselves in a good sense, in a marketing sense, that they're the right thing, then you just believe it.
Yeah.
And so people have become very good at presenting themselves as something, and can mislead people into thinking they're something that they're not. So, you know, it's a very interesting game.
Yes, indeed. Well, I won't take any more of your time. I'm really pleased to have met you. And I live in Portugal.
Oh, nice.
So if you need any help this side of the water, if there's anything I can do, I'm from a UK originally, but I live in Portugal now. If there's anything that occurs to you that I can help you with from that geographical position, I'd be delighted to help. And I'm grateful for your counsel today.
Of course. Where in the UK were you from?
I grew up in and around London and spent some time in the north of England as well.
I was just in Manchester last week.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
What is it? I did a webinar last night, and there was an expat here in Portugal. She's Canadian originally, and she's just said she's been on a shopping trip to Manchester. I've never heard of anybody saying that in my whole life.
Oh, well, I didn't go to Manchester for a shopping trip, so I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
But I wasn't too fond of Manchester precisely, but I did go to this small city, Ribchester, which is north of Ribchester. It's a very small town. It seems like a kind of an old medieval town with, just the old Roman ruins and kind of an ancient church and that kind of thing, which is more the feel that I like. But yeah, it was nice. But yeah, I certainly appreciate meeting you too, Carl, and I hope that our team can support you.
Well, it looks like it, Eric, and a lot of the emphasis is on me to catch up and enjoy the process, and I appreciate your tip to simplify there, and to go to market. So we have a great weekend. Bom fim de semana, as we say in Portugal.
Yep.
And good to meet you.
Okay, you too. Bye.
All right, bye for now.